Hi guys, today we are starting a new concept and it is very much important concept in our competitive examinations, that is probability. So in probability we have some terminology. If you are good with that terminology, then you can understand the questions better. Okay. So let us start with random experiment, then eventually we'll go to outcomes, sample space. These are all the terminology. Okay. Event, mutually exclusive events. Okay. So first we start with random experiment. So before that I would like to tell you something. Many of the students feel that this concept is tough, but I will be explaining this concept right from the basics so that you will feel much better. Okay. So let us start this with the random experiment. So what is a random experiment? What is a random experiment? So if you are conducting an experiment and you are not knowing the results of that experiment, then that is called random experiment. And examples of those random experiments are tossing a coin, and rolling a die. So tossing a coin is a random experiment because we are not sure of the results of this experiment, right? So it could be head or tail, but we are not sure exactly what's going to be happen in that or what is the result of that experiment. Likewise, rolling a die also. We are not sure of the outcome in this experiment. So these two experiments are random experiments. Okay. So in order to be a random experiment, two conditions are to be satisfied. So first condition is it should have two or more outcomes. And the second condition is it should not be possible to predict the outcome in advance. Okay, so first condition is it should have two or more outcomes and it should not be possible to predict the outcome in advance. So let us see whether these two random experiments is satisfying these two conditions or not. Okay, so first condition is it should have two or more outcomes. So here we got two outcomes, right? One is head and another one is tail. And for this rolling a die, we have outcomes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All these are outcomes for this rolling a die experiment. Okay. So here we got 2, here we got 6. So it should have 2 or more. So condition satisfied. And second condition is it should not be possible to predict the outcome in advance. So in both of the experiments, we are not able to predict the outcome. So two conditions are satisfied. So both of them will be random experiments. Okay. So this is regarding random experiment. So now let us see outcomes. So let us take two coins. Okay. We are now taking two coins. If you take two coins, what are the possible outcomes? By the way, we have used this term outcomes here as well. Okay. So what are the possible outcomes or the possible results? Both of them can be heads, both of them can be tails. First one can be head, second one can be tail, or first one can be tail and the second one can be head. These are the possible results. So these are called outcomes of this experiment. Okay, sorry, this experiment. So here, what is the experiment? We are tossing two coins. This is an experiment. So for this experiment, all these four are outcomes. For this experiment, rolling a die, these are the outcomes. For this experiment, tossing a coin, these are the outcomes. Okay. So now let us see sample space. So sample space of this experiment is S is equal to, by the way, sample space is represented by S. H, H, T, 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 H, H, T. So what are all these? These are outcomes. Okay, these are outcomes which I have written here. The set of the outcomes will be sample space. Once again, so these are outcomes. The set, what is a set? Set is a collection of objects. What kind of objects here? Outcomes. Outcomes of which experiment? Random experiment. So sample space is a set of outcomes, or we can say, what are outcomes here? Outcomes are the results of the experiment. So sample space can be set of results of random experiment. Okay, you can say in both ways. So for now, we can say sample space is a set of outcomes of an experiment. Okay, so that is regarding sample space, and we can take another example for sample space. So let us suppose we have rolled 2 dice. Okay, so if it is singular, then it is die. If it is plural, then that will be dice. Okay, so we have rolled 2 dice, and what are the possible outcomes? 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 1 5, 1 6, like that. 2 1, it continues like up to here, and this also continues up to 6 1, 6 2, like that, 6 6. Okay, so totally we have 36 possible outcomes. So what will be the sample spaces? Sample space will be set of, just put set here, set of all these outcomes will be sample space for that experiment, for this experiment. Okay, now let us see event. Okay, now let us see event. So what is an event? So for example, we have tossed 2 coins. So what will be the experiment? Experiment will be tossing 2 coins, and outcomes will be HH, HT, TH and TT. So these are the outcomes. Okay, what will be sample space? Sample space will be HH, HT, TH, TT in a set. This will be a sample space. So here I am interested in only those outcomes which have exactly one head. So what are those outcomes? HT and TH. So these two are having exactly one head. Here one head, here one head. Okay. So let us suppose this is a set E. Okay. So if you see, these are the outcomes which we are interested in. Okay. So this set will be subset to sample space. So if you see here, HT is in S, TH is in S. So this will be subset to sample space. So what is an event? Event is a set of outcomes which we are interested in, or which we wanted them to happen. Okay, so such an event or such a set containing outcomes which we are interested in is called event, and that event will be always subset to sample space. Or I'll take another example. See, let us suppose we have rolled a die. Okay, single one. So what are the outcomes here? Outcomes will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And sample space will be set of outcomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here my condition is, or here the event is, the number on the face of die should be less than 4. So that was my condition, or those are the outcomes which I was interested in. Okay. So let us suppose after rolling a die, if it turns out to be 1, then it is less than 4, right? Here the condition is satisfied, right? Then that is called occurrences of the event. Okay. This is called occurrences of the event, or you can say event is occurred. Okay. Let us write that. Event is happened or event is occurred. Event is occurred. If it turns out to be 2, then 2 is less than 4, right? Then also we can say event is occurred. If it turns out to be 3, then 3 is less than 4, we can say the same thing, event is occurred. If it turns out to be 4, 4 is not less than 4, then we can say that event is not occurred. Okay. So that is regarding event and occurrences of an event. So once again, what is an event? Events are the set of outcomes which we are interested in. So here we tossed 2 coins. Outcomes will be this, sample space will be set of outcomes, and here our event is, or here our condition is, or here the outcomes which we are interested in are HT, TH. Okay, these are the only 2 outcomes which will be having exactly 1 head. So these outcomes will be subset of sample space, because sample space is a universal set. Sample space will be having all the outcomes possible. Okay, this is the set of all the outcomes possible. So this can be treated as universal set, and every event will be subset of that sample space. So that is regarding event and occurrences of an event. So here I have taken an example of die. So outcomes will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So sample space will be set of those outcomes, and here the condition is, or the event is, the face of the die should be less than 4. The number on the face of the die should be less than 4. So if it is 1, then we can say event is occurred. If it is 2, then we can say event is occurred, because the condition is satisfied. Here the condition is, or the event is, the number should be less than 4. 1 is less than 4, event is occurred. 2 is less than 4, event is occurred. 3 is less than 4, event is occurred. 4 is less than 4, then event is not occurred, because the condition is failed. So next one, types of events. Okay. So in types of events, we have impossible events, sure events, simple events, and compound events. So let us see one by one. So first one, impossible events. Okay. Impossible events. So let us suppose we have rolled a die. Okay. So what are the possible outcomes or sample space? That will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So these are the outcomes. Set of those outcomes will be sample space. So if I ask for an event or for an outcome that is 7, this is an impossible event. Impossible event. Why this is an impossible event? Because this event will never happen, right? So this is called impossible event. And next one, sure event. Okay. So sure event. Let us suppose my condition is, or my event is, getting the outcomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I get any of these events or any of these outcomes, then that will be my event. So here my event is getting 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. So if any of these outcomes happen, then my event is happened. So if you see clearly, this is a sample space, right? Okay, sample space for what? Sample space for rolling a die. So sample space for rolling a die and my event is same. So this event is called sure event. This event is called sure event. Why sure event? Why it is a sure event? It is a sure event because whenever you roll a die, you will get one of those outcomes, right? So let us suppose we got 2. Then my event is happened. Event E is happened. If I get 3, then event happened. 4, event happened. 5, event happened. 6, event happened. 1, event happened. So each time event will be happening for sure. So this is a sure event. Okay. So now let us see simple event. Simple event. Okay. Here I have tossed 2 coins. Okay. So my sample space will be head head, head tail, tail head, tail tail. Okay, these are my elements of sample space. So each one of them, each of the sample space items are called sample point. These are the elements of sample space, right? So these are called sample points. Okay. So if my event consists of sample point, then it is called simple event. Simple event. So once again, see, this is a sample space and this sample space will be having the sample points. What are the sample points? The outcomes of the experiment are called sample points. Okay, so each of the sample point will be a simple event. This is 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 a simple event. Okay, so HH, here my event is getting 2 heads. So this is a simple event, and it is a part of sample space. If you see here, E will be subset to sample space. Okay, so each one is a sample point and each one will be a simple event. Okay, simple event. This is a simple event. This is a simple event. If you club or 2 of them, then that would be a compound event. Okay, so if you put together 2 of the events, then that will be a compound event. If you take each one at a time, then that will be a simple event. So the elements in the sample space will be sample point. This is a sample point, this is a sample point, this is a sample point, and this is a sample point. So when it becomes a simple event is when you ask an event where in this case I have asked about getting 2 heads. Okay, so getting 2 heads is already available in the sample space. So this is a subset of this sample space and this is called simple event. And now let us see compound event. So compound event, as we have already discussed, let us take example here, like I want at least 1 head, at least 1 head after tossing 2 coins. After tossing 2 coins, at least 1 head, in the sense you can have HT, TH and HH. These are the 3 possible 1 head cases. Okay, so this is a compound event. As we have discussed, we are asking about this one, this one, this one. So this event is called compound event. Compound event. So to put it in a short note, see, If it is a single event or single entity in the event, then that is a simple event. If there are more outcomes in an event, then that will be a compound event. Okay. So that is regarding types of events. So now let us see algebra of events. So in algebra of events, you have A union B, A intersection B, A but not B, or not A or A complement. So this is very similar to algebra of sets. Okay, what does algebra of sets contain? Algebra of sets contain A union B, that means union, A intersection B, A minus B, A complement, like that. Here also we will be having A union B. This is regarding events. Event A union event B. Event A intersection event B, like that. Event A but not B. Complement of event A, like that. Okay. So let's start with A union B. That means event A union event B. So what does that mean? Let us suppose my sample space is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So this is not set A, this is event A. So my event is getting 1, 2. Okay. And my event B is getting 3, 4. Okay. So what is A union B? Just like sets, you should union all of them. 3, 4. A union will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that, A intersection B. Event A intersection event B. Let us suppose A is equal to 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then A intersection B will be 3. Okay. So we write the common outcomes here. These are not set elements, these are common outcomes. These are all the outcomes, right? So getting 3 here and here common, so we'll get 3 as common element. And third one, A but not B. A but not B. And this is similar to A minus B, right? So this is equal to A minus B. So here let us take the same example. A minus B will be, so here we are not subtracting B from A, okay. Here we should say A but not in B. That means 1, 2, 3 minus 3, 4. So what will be the answer? 1, 2. Okay. Why 1, 2? See, A minus B will be A minus A intersection B. This is also an important formula. Note it down. Okay. So what are the intersection elements? 3. U minus A minus A intersection B. A intersection B is 3. 1, 2, 3 minus 3 will be 1, 2. That is one way of understanding the problem. And second one is A minus B will be the elements in the A and the elements should not be there in B. So the elements should be in A, should not be there in B. So B has 3. So this should not be there in B. So 3, 3 will get closed. So the remaining elements in A will be written here. This is A minus B. So this is a important formula regarding this one. Okay. And not A or complement of A. Fourth one, A complement or not A. This is also very easy. So let us suppose my experiment is, I have tossed a coin, 2 coins, let us suppose, tossed 2 coins. So my sample space will be head, 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 tail, tail, head, tail. So my event A is getting 2 heads at a time. So what will be my A complement or not A? Not A will be head tail, tail head, tail tail. So here my condition is getting exactly 2 heads. Exactly 2 heads I want. So here there are no exactly 2 heads. There are 1 head actually, but we want 2 heads exactly. So these are not A elements or not A cases or not A outcomes. Okay. So if this is A, this will be A complement. If you see the elements also, the elements in A will not be there in A complement. Just like sets. In sets we have seen na. So if this is A, this will be A complement. This is a universal set. This whole thing is a universal set. Okay. And outside A will be A complement. Okay. If something is there in A, that will not be there in A complement. If something is in A complement, that will not be there in A. Okay. So that is regarding algebra of events. Now let us see mutually exclusive events. Mutually exclusive events. Okay. So let us suppose here my experiment is not tossing, rolling a die. Okay. So what are the sample space elements? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be my sample space. Okay. So here my event A is getting 1, 3, 5. Okay. And my event B is getting 2, 4, 5. Okay. Sorry, 2, 4, 6, let us suppose. So if you see the A intersection part, A intersection B is 5. Okay, there are no common elements for A and B. There are no common elements. So this can be, this is a set form, this is a representative form. Okay. So if you see event A is getting odd numbers, event B is getting even numbers. Okay. So if you put it in a set form, one, 3, 5, 2, 4, 6. This is A, this is B. Why I have written like this? Because there is no intersection. So that is why I have written like this. Okay. Otherwise, I would have written like this, like in the earlier cases. Okay. So these are called disjoint sets in sets concept. Disjoint sets, and in the probability concept, these are called mutually exclusive events. Mutually exclusive events. Okay. So once again, in the sets concept, this is called disjoint sets. In probability concept, this is called mutually exclusive events. Why it is called mutually exclusive events? Because, so let us suppose if I roll a die, I would get some result. Like if I get 3, let us suppose. If this event is happening, then there is no way that this is going to happen, right? If 3 is the outcome, then this is excluded. If 2 is the outcome, then this is excluded. Okay. So happening of this one will exclude this one, or happening of this one will exclude this one. Okay. So that is why these are called mutually exclusive events. Okay. Or if you don't understand that, try to remember this one. if two sets are having no elements in common, such events are called mutually exclusive events. Okay, and those two events should be belonging to the same experiment. Okay, that is the condition. So this is regarding mutually exclusive events. So now let us see mutually exhaustive events. Mutually exhaustive events. Okay, so I'll take same example, rolling a die. Rolling a die. Okay, so what will be my sample space? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so my event A is 1 to 4, let us suppose, and my event B is 3, 4, 6. Okay, so we try to add some more elements, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so if you union A and B, then we get the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is a sample space. So this is the first event, this is the second event. So event 1 union event 2 and so on, event n is equal to S. So here we got only two events. This is a generic form. Here we have only two events. Okay, if the union of all the events is giving you the sample space, then these events E1 comma E2 comma and so on En, all these events are called mutually exhaustive events. Exhaustive events. Once again, so here we have taken two events. First event is 1 to 4, second event is 3, 4, 5, 6. So you find out the union, you will get it, you're getting these elements. This set is equal to sample space. So A and B are called exhaustive events. In general, if union of events are equal to sample space, then these events are called exhaustive events. Okay, so here A and B are exhaustive events. Here in generic form, E1, E2, E3 and so on En are the exhaustive events. So let us have some note points here. So let us suppose if A is 1, 3, 5. I'm taking this example. Okay, B is 2, 4, 6. Okay, these are mutually exclusive events, right? We have already known. A intersection B is 5 over here. And if you find out A union B, then you will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is equal to sample space. Then A and B are mutually exclusive events plus, here A and B are mutually exhaustive events plus mutually exclusive events for this condition. Here, for satisfying this condition, A and B are mutually exclusive events, and here for satisfying this condition, A and B are mutually exhaustive events. So here A and B are mutually exhaustive and exclusive events. Once again, A and B are exhaustive because for satisfying this condition. What is this condition? A union B is sample space. So these two are called mutually exhaustive events for this condition. And here for A intersection B is 5. For satisfying this condition, these are called mutually exclusive events. So on a whole, we can call these two sets as mutually exclusive, mutually exclusive and exhaustive events, and this is very important. So A and B are mutually exclusive and exhaustive events. Okay. So once again, I'll try to explain this concept. So see here, mutually exclusive events. If A intersection B is phi, then these two events are called mutually exclusive events. And the concept is, here I have taken the example of event A, which is 135, event B is 246. So if event A is happening, then that prevents B from happening, because if a number on the die turns out to be 3, then this will never happen. If the number turns out to be 4, then this will never happen. So happening of one event will prevent happening of another event. So happening of this event excludes this one, happening of this event excludes this one. So these are called mutually exclusive events. Or if you don't understand that, remember this condition. If A intersection B is phi, then these two sets are called mutually exclusive events. And here mutually exhaustive events. So we have two events, 1, 2, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you find out the union. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3 from here, and we got 2 4s here. So remember, set will not have duplicate elements. We have already discussed. Set will not have duplicate elements. So 1, 4, 5, 6. So this is a sample space. So union of two sets is equal to sample space. Then these two sets are called mutually exhaustive events. Okay. In generic form, E1 union E2 union E3 union and so on up to En, which is equal to S. Then these E1, E2, E3 are called mutually exhaustive events. Okay. And here we have taken another example, which has A intersection B is phi and A union B is sample space, and it is satisfying this condition and this condition. So it is called mutually exclusive and exhaustive events. Okay. So this is regarding exclusive and exhaustive events. So now let us see the probability of event. Okay. So probability of event is defined as n of E by n of S. What is n of E? N of E is the total number of outcomes in event E or favorable for event E. For event E by total number of outcomes in sample space. Total number of outcomes in sample space. Don't forget that. Okay. So this is termed as probability of E. Okay. So let us suppose we have conducted an experiment. Let us suppose we have tossed a coin, okay, and getting a head is how much probability? Half. How can you say half? See, when you toss a coin, what is the probability of getting head? 50%, right? Probability is chance, right? So the chance of getting head is 50%. Chance of getting tail is 50%. That means 50-50 chances, right? If you write this in percentage form, this is 0.5. If you write this one in percentage form, this would be 50%. Okay, getting a head will be 50%, getting a tail also be half, that is 50% in terms of percentage. Okay, so let us put that in this notation. So probability of getting a head, number of elements is 1 by total number of elements in sample space is 2. So sample space is head comma tail. Okay, number of elements in sample space is 2. So this would be 1 by 2. Likewise, probability of getting tail will also be 1 by 2. So for suppose I have rolled a die. Okay, so sample space will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number of elements in sample space will be 6. Here the probability of getting 1 will be 1 by 6. Okay, how can you say that probability of 1 getting 1 by 6 is? So 1 represents number of elements 1 and 6 represents total number of elements in the sample space. Okay. Likewise, the probability of 2 will be 1 by 6. Probability of 2 will be 1 by 6. Probability of 3 will be 1 by 6. Probability of 4 will be 1 by 6. 5 will be 1 by 6. Probability of 6 will be 1 by 6 as well. Okay. So if you add them up, probability of 1 plus probability of 2 plus probability of 3 plus like that up to probability of 6, then that will be 6 by 6, that is equal to 1. Okay. So probability of 1, probability of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on up to 6 will be 1 by 6 plus 1 by 6 plus 1 by 6 plus and so on up to 1 by 6 times. So that will be 6 by 6, that is 1. And probability of sample space will be 1. How? See, probability of an event will be number of elements in that event by number of elements in sample space. Here E is sample space itself. So that will be, so P of E will be number of elements in event E will be number of elements in sample space. Okay, 1. Okay, this is not E, this is sample space, probability of sample space. So probability of sample space always will be 1, and the probability, sum of the probabilities of the outcomes in the sample space will also be 1. Okay, sum of the probabilities, not individual probabilities. Individual probabilities are 1 by 6 in this case. Okay, so if you sum them up, that will be 1. And now we shall discuss probability of equally likely outcomes. Okay, so we will consider this example only. So see here, probability of getting 1 is 1 by 6. Probability of getting 2 is 1 by 6. Probability of getting 3 is 1 by 6. Likewise, all of them are having same probabilities. So these are called probabilities of equally likely outcomes. What are all these? These are outcomes, right? Outcomes of the random experiment. So the probability of each and every outcome in this case is same. Okay, so that is why named this topic as probabilities of equally likely outcomes. So now let us see probability of A intersection B. Okay, so we have seen probability of an event will be number of elements in that event by probability of samples, number of elements in the number of elements in the sample space. Okay, so this will be number of elements in the A intersection B by number of elements in the sample space. So let us consider an example. So A is 1, 2, 3 and B is having 3, 4. Okay, and the sample space is containing the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is equal to number of elements in A intersection B. A intersection B is we are having only 3. So number of elements in that will be only one element. By number of elements in the sample space will be 6. So 1 by 6 is the probability of A intersection B. So let us suppose if there are no common elements 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So there are no common elements for this. So this will be 0 by 6. Then that will be 0. Probability of A intersection will be 0. So when will the probability of A intersection will be 0? If the sets are mutually exclusive, then, right? Do you remember this? These are called disjoint sets in the concept of sets, and in the concept of probability we call them mutually exclusive events. Mutually exclusive events. Okay, so these have no intersection, right? So A intersection B is phi, right? So probability of A intersection B will be probability of phi. Probability of phi is 0. Okay, so probability of A intersection will be 0 when A and B are mutually exclusive events. And now let us see probability of A union B. So probability of A union B will be probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. And if you see carefully, this formula is already, we have seen it already in sets, right? So in sets, the formula is number of elements in A union B will be number of elements in A plus number of elements in B minus number of elements in A intersection B. This was the formula in sets. Okay, so the formula in probability will be this one. Probability of A union B will be probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. Okay, so you can take examples and you can check it, like you can verify it. Okay, so this is the important formula, you have to note it down. Okay, so let us suppose if A intersection B is phi, and we have discussed that if A intersection B is phi, then A and B are mutually exclusive events, or in terms of, if you want to say in terms of sets, then that will be A and B are disjoint sets. Okay, so here A and B are mutually exclusive events, let us suppose. Then P of A union B will be P of A plus P of B minus 0. Why 0? We have seen that if A intersection B is phi, then this will be 0, right? So the formula will cut down to this thing. Probability of A union B will be P of A plus P of B. Okay. When this condition is satisfied, remember this. If something is, if A intersection B is not equal to phi, then this is the formula. If A intersection B is equal to phi, then this is the formula. Okay, that means if there are common elements between A and B, then this is the formula. If there are no common elements between A and B, then this is the formula. Okay, and we have seen how we got this formula as well. Okay, and now let us see complement, P of A complement. What is P of A complement? if you want to understand in Venn diagram concept, this is A, this is A complement. Okay, this is inverse, this whole thing is universal set. Okay, so this is A, outside is A complement, this whole thing is universal set. So probability of A complement. Probability of A complement will be, first let us try to formulate this. Let us suppose A union A complement is equal to S, right? What is S here? Here S is universal set. I mean, here S is sample space. Actually, let us suppose sample space is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and random experiment is rolling a die. Okay, and my event A is 1, 2. Okay, so here 1, 2 will be there, and outside this there will be 3, 4, 5, 6. So A union A complement will be universal set. Like this, event A union complement of event A. That means this whole region outside A. So both of them will be equal to sample space. Here in terms of sets we say universal set. In terms of probability we say sample space. Okay. So A union A complement will be sample space. Okay. So probability of A union A complement will be probability of sample space. Probability of sample space is 1. We have seen it already. Okay. And if you see carefully, A and A complement are mutually exclusive events, or we can say A and A complement does not have any common elements. So if they are not having common elements, we can write like this: probability of A plus probability of A complement is equal to 1. How I have written like this? In the earlier case, we have seen that probability of A union B will be probability of A plus probability of B when A and B are mutually exclusive events, or A and B are not having common elements. Here also A and A complement will not have any common elements. So we can write like this. Okay. So probability of A complement will be 1 minus P of A. So this is the probability of A complement. So if you have any doubts, you can comment down below. I'll answer. Okay. Yeah.